Hey, what it do, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Just having a great day. So quick status update on the F550. This thing is so close to being done, and we just have some of the final wiring to do, but it actually runs, and you guys will be seeing that here shortly, but not in today's video. We're gonna give this thing its own grand finale because in the next video that we make on this thing, it's gonna be leaving the shop. That's how close it is. And I'm not sure how observant you guys are, but if you did not notice in the background, the shop over here is very clean. And that's because this video could go one of two ways. I gotta go pick something up right now that's gonna be like super random. You guys will never guess in a million years what it is. And if it goes like I want it to, that's gonna be what today's video is about. But if it doesn't, this thing needs some pretty serious work, and that's like top priority. So we got to get that thing fixed. It has an air tank bracket that's broken, so we're gonna have to pull it in here. And to do it, I have to drop the fuel tank. I have to take off like these nearly impossible bolts that actually have to be ground off because of how they're installed. So yeah, fun times. We could either be working on the special surprise or the Peterbilt. I'm not sure which one it's gonna be yet, but I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let's go and jump on into it, and let's roll.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong
What do you
like
think
a
about
tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law.
I gotta remember this thing. I didn't take that off. I'm leaning towards two-stroke, so we're gonna go ahead and put a bunch of two-stroke gas in there. All right, well here we go for our very first test drive. You guys can see we got a nice quad right here.
Try
I'm
to catch me howling
assuming-
at the moon.
Regardless of what we actually end up doing today, I do have to go pick up the special surprise, and I'm gonna bum Mike's trailer. I really do need to take it back. It's been out here for like a month and a half, I think, maybe almost 2 months. And I just have not had time to take it back up. That's how crazy we've been. And then also another quick status update. You guys know I've been working on the John Deere. One of the cylinders was so bad, we had to take it into an actual shop to get rebuilt. And so we're kind of waiting on that, but that'll be another day. Anyhow, let's hit the road and let's go pick up the special surprise. Oh, there she is in all her glory.
Perfect trailer. Minus all the work.
All right, we're just pulled back into the ranch. We're definitely gonna be needing the $299 to help get that thing into the shop. And this is probably not the best place for that. So yeah, as soon as we get this thing fired up, moved out of the way, kick that bucket somewhere, we'll go ahead and get the GMC backed up over here and get this thing into the shop. You got it?
Oh yeah, I got it.
All right, steer it into the middle. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and talk a little bit about what we picked up. Now this is an old Harley Davidson golf cart, and they actually partnered with AMF to build this thing. Now this is definitely not the original platform that was back here. If you guys do wanna see what these look like, just do like a quick Google search on Harley golf carts, and then you'll see what like a complete one looks like. So the main reason that I actually picked this thing up, other than it's ridiculous and it's gonna be a lot of fun, our Polaris Ranger has some issues, and I'm gonna have to actually dive into the engine. It's got a really loud ticking, and I think the engine's like on its last leg. So I wanna get this thing up and working, and if it works well enough, we'll go ahead and bring the Ranger in here. And this will basically be the substitute for the ranch vehicle while that thing is down. So we're gonna go ahead and put new wood on this and maybe make some sort of makeshift seat up here. But first we gotta see if we can get this thing running. So to do that, we're gonna go ahead and lift this up. Beautifully engineered platform. You guys can see it just stays put nicely. And I guess we can go ahead and take off this wonderful tarp. Probably should have done this outside, seeing as I just cleaned in here. So let me try and take care of this real quick without making a huge mess. So let me go ahead and set the camera down. All right, well, we just had Mike show up, who is an avid Harley rider himself.
We're gonna put ape hangers on this thing.
Yeah, what do you think about this, Jim?
What's that?
What do you think about this thing?
I think it's doable for sure.
Yeah? Think we can get it working tonight?
I don't know about tonight, but if you do, I'll eat those words.
It's gonna happen. But
The engine doesn't look that bad though. I mean, it's like, you know.
just a little rusty, you know? And there's like hardly any gas in there. So I think if I put like 2 gallons of good fresh gas in there, we'll be good. And I think these are 2-stroke.
Oh, are they?
I gotta do a quick double check though.
I don't know about that one.
Give me 1 second. All right, so we got some quick Google searches going on. Man, look at this thing, guys. How do we find that part of this? All right, so we don't know for sure if it's 2-stroke because we don't know the exact year of this thing, but we're not seeing an oil pan on here, which is kind of a telltale sign of being a 2-stroke. Now, I'm not saying that it's impossible that it's a 4-stroke, but
I don't see a place to put oil in either.
yeah. I'm leaning towards 2-stroke. So we're gonna go ahead and put a bunch of 2-stroke gas in there. I gotta remember this thing. I didn't take that off and I don't even remember where it was. May have been back in here. May have been somewhere down here. A lot of disconnected wires. Now a smart man would completely empty that gas tank, but we're just trying to see if we can even get it to turn over / run. So if we do, maybe we'll cross that bridge once we get there. Tomorrow.
Yeah, a little bit. Last year, I was looking at the chart from.
All right, so we got a fresh battery in there, the finest of the finest for as far as battery cables go. Yeah, we're just not gonna look at that too hard. Yeah, so we're just gonna see what the key does, see if anything happens. Oh, so that's the throttle. Okay, so nothing's happening yet. This has to hook in to this somehow. All right, well, Mike's gonna hit the road. We did not get it working yet, but when I do get it working, I'll drive it over to his
He's
house.
gonna drive it over to my place.
That's right, we'll see you later.
All right, man.
All right, so it turns out we're gonna be having a late night in the shop. Got my buddy up here with me. You wanna say hello?
Hello.
We got Adam coming over. He's bringing his pickup. We gotta throw a B&W gooseneck hitch in there. He's gotta take off, I think in 2 days. So we're gonna try and crank this thing out tonight. We may even be actually putting air. So we're gonna keep working on this thing till he gets here. We actually made some pretty good progress. We've just been cleaning a bunch of stuff up. This cable right here was so corroded. I went ahead and cut some of it off right here. You guys can see just how oxidized that is. And actually this post to this solenoid right here, the cable was passing 0 current through it because of how corroded it was right there. So you guys can see we got it nice and cleaned up. It actually works really good. So after we did all that, you guys can see we have the key turned. We got some other stuff connected. I'm just like shooting in the dark at where to put some of this stuff. And we have this wire right here, which definitely is on the newer side of things, but you guys can see that it connects to the solenoid right here. And when we hit it right here, you guys can see that the engine is actually rotating. Now, this is like a bi-directional engine. It can go forward and reverse. And I'm actually curious to see when we switch that to see what it does. So let's go ahead and double check one more time which way this thing spins. So right now we're counterclockwise on the centrifugal clutch right there. Let's go ahead and switch this over, see what it does. And now we are going clockwise. So that does work correctly. Next thing we need to figure out is the coil, spark. We're gonna have to take the carburetor off because that's gonna be gunked up for sure. So the more and more I look at this design, you guys, I'm like super falling in love with this golf cart. It's just super rad. Let me go ahead and get all this ripped apart while we go ahead and set the camera on the charger for a little bit and wait for Adam to get here. All right, so we ended up getting everything installed. It's looking pretty good. Looks somewhat professional. The hole is like dead on. This is Adam, by the way. He's my hey guy. And we have since become friends. But I think Steve actually, was Steve the one that introduced us? Yeah,
It was Steve.
So you guys have all met Steve before. But anyhow, we got it all done in the nick of time. You're leaving in what, 2 days?
2 days, Friday.
2 days, yeah.
Arizona National Livestock Show, Phoenix, Arizona, end of the year.
Yep. So this was like crunch time because tomorrow's Christmas Eve and this is what I want to do tomorrow, 0. So I guess technically today's Christmas Eve.
Yeah, it's like 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah. So anyhow, we're done. I will be back tomorrow though, working on this gym, and we'll see you guys then. So it might not look like it, but we're actually getting pretty close to having this thing running. I actually had it moving forward and backwards, and I didn't have my camera with me. It was down at the house, and I just kept working. And as you guys can tell, we have the carburetor off of it now. It is in dire need of some cleaning, and I went ahead and redid some of the electrical. I'm not sure why or whoever did what they did, but some of the wires needed switching around back here, and everything works how it's supposed to now. So as soon as we get this thing cleaned, in theory, I think if this is able to fuel the engine, we should have it. We're gonna go ahead and make our way over to the workbench where I can go ahead and get this thing all disassembled in a nice clean area where I don't have to worry about stuff falling on the ground. All right, well, I got it all put back to normal. I think everything's working. I could be 100% wrong, but you guys can see we got the air filter back on, the carburetor on. I did have to, one of the butterfly valves, like pin it open. I don't know why, but for some reason it just works better that way. But as you guys can tell, when we hit this throttle, she fires right up. And you guys can see that centrifugal clutch just about to start grabbing. So we're gonna go ahead and put it down, and we're gonna try and take this thing for a little ride. All right, well, here we go for our very first test drive. You guys can see we got our nice plywood right here. I'm assuming that reverse is that way. I don't know, we'll see. All right, well, we definitely need to get some new tires for this thing, but check it out. She drove out of the shop on her own power, and we're gonna try and drive this thing around the back, and then tomorrow's Christmas, so I don't think we'll be able to go get new tires for it. But here in a couple days, we're definitely gonna get some new tires for this thing, and we're gonna build a little bit better of a seat. But let's go ahead and take this thing around back. All right, well, that's as far as we're getting because the wheels are just spinning inside the tires. But it's working great, guys. So yeah, as soon as we get some new tires, this thing's gonna be a unit. All right, well, as far as first test runs go, huge success. This thing is super, super cool. It could definitely use a new muffler. That thing is just like seen better days. It's literally being held together with baling wire and hardly muffles anything. Super loud when you're driving this thing around. The reason we didn't make it so far was because we got a tire issue. You guys can see I threw some slime in there trying to help get that bead set. Just wasn't happening. Same story on the other side. So long story short, we had to fire up the 299 and help get this thing back into the shop. But I'm beyond excited that this thing actually works. And it works pretty good. I don't think it's gonna be like a race car by any means, but as far as when you go to fire it up, so once this thing has air in the tires, I think it's gonna move pretty good. But we're gonna have to save that for another day. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up, and then tomorrow we'll get the Peterbilt pulled into here so we can start working on that, which is a very serious project, which I don't really wanna do, but gotta do it anyways. But I'm gonna go ahead and put to screws this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you could do me a huge solid like, subscribe, share this with your amigos, hit that notification button down below so you guys can see progress on this old jalopy right here. That thing should be wrapping up in the next couple days. Peterbilt. We got a lot of stuff going on. Anyhow, I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.